Let's go to the Buyers Barricade guest line, brought to us by AA Best Bail Bonds. It is the head coach of these Dallas Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer joins us on the program. Good morning, Coach.
How we doing, guys? Happy Friday.
Oh, happy Friday.
We call it Friday around here, Coach. Friday.
Friday. Hey, well, I was coming into office this morning. And I was like, dang, I haven't listened to my Taylor Swift album, so I threw on a couple songs, and I would say it was solid.
It's okay.
Do it a little bit more intently, but yeah, I mean, I do like Cancel. That's solid. Father Figure's pretty good. But,
okay.
I wanted you guys to know I was doing my pregame prep for you guys.
All right.
What did you think about the song about Travis Kelce's dong? Was that weird for you?
About the hog?
I didn't get to that one. I don't know if I'll listen to that one. Yeah, I didn't get to that one. I probably will avoid.
Don't sing it out loud, Coach.
That one's called Wood. So if you get into it and you start to think, wait, is he singing? Is she singing about? She's singing about Travis's hog is what she's singing about.
Creative name. I like that creative name.
They call that.
Never known that. I thought we were talking about building something. That's what I would have thought. We were going to Home Depot or something.
No, friend. She's talking about her lumberjack.
Yeah,
there.
something like that. There's still nails involved, but in an entirely different way.
And hammers.
Yeah.
Coach, this has to have been your favorite week as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys so far. This was a win where you guys got some margin. Your offense continues to be elite. The defense was improved. And you guys finally got a clean win on the road, especially. That's got to be a good feeling for you. What's the mindset like in the locker room right now?
Yeah, I think, it was a really good win for us. Again, you factor in like we always do. It's, it's one championship opportunity that we took advantage of. We got the win. We did it with a lot of guys out, which is also great for your confidence because you're playing with some guys that maybe haven't played a whole lot, but they need the snaps. And at some point, they're going to be playing more meaningful snaps for us, whether it's this week or, 5-10 weeks down the line from us. I think that's always something, good to pull from. But I really just felt like overall, I liked the temperament of our football team. I thought, we started fast. We went down. We got points early. I thought the defense was incredible with their ability to create pressure on Justin. He was hit from all different sides, and they moved him off the spot. Again, 2 weeks in a row that we did not turn the ball over on offense, and we took one away on defense. Maris had an incredible punch out, and we had a bunch of guys, running to the ball, and Donovan Wilson fell on it. That was a huge play for us. But a good win. It's great to go on the road and get a victory. And, again, it's going to be another good challenge this week because Carolina's playing with some confidence coming back off of a 17-0 deficit last week and battling back to beat the Dolphins.
We'll talk about what they're doing recently in a second. I've been overwhelmed with how well Dak has been playing. Just phenomenal. And looking at the fruits of that, Jake Ferguson, you're tight end. Are you doing anything different with him this year?
Well, I've been very open with, I really think two things from last year. I'm going back to go forward. I think, last year he was banged up. He really was. He got a knee early on, first game against Cleveland, got the concussion midway through the season. And then I've been very upfront, honest, and hell, I'm probably the biggest one to blame in this. But I didn't feel like looking back at the cut-ups over the spring that we used him the right way. So now fast forward to this year. He came back in incredible shape. He's an engaged man now. He's in love, and he's totally changed his diet, which we all do. My wife's probably listening right now saying, yeah, what about your diet there, big fella? But Fergie he looks great. Shit, he's doing Hugo Boss commercials, guys. He doesn't even have a 6-pack. Like, he's got a 4-pack, but he's doing Hugo Boss commercials in his underwear, and but he does look great. And again, he's a guy that, again, his ability to catch and run, his size, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but man, like, just his size and catch radius, man, he's kind of always open, and so happy for him because he really has worked his tail off to get back and to do the things he's doing. We're not surprised, but getting that first touchdown this year a couple weeks ago was pretty important to him because he wanted to get off the schneid.
If I had told you coming into the season that you were going to have all the offensive line injuries that you had, would you have told Jake Ferguson this was going to be his best receiving start to a season, or
right.
would you have expected the tight ends to have to play more of a role in protecting your quarterback?
Yeah, I probably would have told them to get a bigger face mask and to buckle up their chin straps maybe a little bit more. But again, it just shows you that right now, we really are playing with a lot of confidence on offense. And again, I really feel like, we're able to attack people different ways, whether it's running, throwing, screens. I think the screen game's been something that's really come along for us in a good way. But again, it's not really the plays, man. It's the execution, and our guys are executing at a high level, like you said. It's not just Dak; it's everybody. George is playing great. Terrence Steele's playing some great football right now. I think Brock Hoffman, T.J. Bass. I mean, I could go along the lines, but Jake Ferguson's having a heck of a year, and that needs to continue.
Coach, one of the things that you guys have done really well all season long is run the football. And Javonte Williams I think has just made a huge difference for this football team. That said, this is a guy who historically has not carried a load like this. How maintainable is it for Javonte Williams to be sort of the bell cow back, especially now with Miles Sanders being banged up and Jadon Blue being kind of ineffective in the short amount of snaps we've seen him? Do you worry about the long-term mileage we're putting on Javonte here?
I don't think so. I really don't think of it that way, guys. I mean, I really do think, there's a lot of ways to play and use your running backs in this league. And, I think Javonte, as he's matured, and gotten older, and this is a guy that takes care of his body, man. I mean, the prehab, the rehab he does, just the post-practice and pre-practice work. I think he's learned, over his first couple of years in the league what it takes. And I remember seeing that, with LaDainian Tomlinson, man. I mean, when I was in San Diego, here I was a younger coach and coaching the quarterbacks, but just watching the investment that LaDainian put into his body, and the hyperbaric chamber and the massages and the things that are available to these guys. Javonte understands that. And of course it's a violent position, and it is what it is. And he plays the game the right way with a physical play style, but he's earned the right to be the bell cow, and he's playing at a high level. We have a lot of confidence in Jaden and Miles and Hunter Lepke and guys like that. And, so again, I think we don't really look at it that way. I'm just so proud of Miles or of Javonte. And like you guys said, he's playing elite football right now.
And we talk about the running game, yet still, you're passing, in the ever ongoing pursuit of balance. You guys are throwing the ball a little bit heavier. And when you see a Carolina team that doesn't provide the pressure that I think you guys have had to deal with over the last couple of weeks, what can we see from the passing game on the edges against a team that, quite frankly, does give up some deep balls and doesn't quite get to the quarterback as actively as some of the teams you've already played?
Yeah, well, number one, I'll say this again. I think they have some weapons that are dangerous. I think anytime you have a defense with Derek Brown out there, you're like, okay, this guy's a really good player. It might not have the same names that ring when you're going into New York to play the Giants, things like that. J.C. Horn is a heck of a corner. We've played. It feels like we play Carolina every year. So we've got a good feel for them. They've got a good feel for us, but. Again, balance is important to us, guys. And I would say this, the way I would phrase it to you guys is, we're always going to try to attack with our playmakers, whatever that looks like. That's the way I call plays. I call plays based on who's in the huddle, who do I want to get the ball to, what's that matchup look like. But this game and continuing forward, it's going to continue to come down to owning the line of scrimmage. And we had a very physical practice on Wednesday because I wasn't, overly pleased with the way we stopped the run on defense. And I thought, there was 9 carries, I think, of 2 yards or less for us offensively against the Jets. And so whether you're running or throwing it, you got to own the line of scrimmage. And so, coming off a win, you don't just go, hey, guys, great job, let's just change. No, we're going to go through the process. And we had a very, very physical practice on Wednesday, a good practice yesterday, and today's the final dress rehearsal kind of the week for running.
All right, here's the part of the interview where we've got to be jerks and ask you about the defense.
Yep. Can we get that out of the way early next week? Let's maybe start with that. After we talk about Travis Kelce's wood, why don't we just jump right into that?
We talk about the important stuff first.
We like to lube you up and put you in a good mood, and then say, how are you going to handle the speed on the outside? The Panthers have. Obviously, they ran the ball really well last week, but they also have a couple good young receivers on the outside that are very fast, and they're going to push the limits of your secondary, particularly if you're not getting into much of a pass rush. What's the game plan to slow down what the Panthers are doing offensively?
Yeah, well, I think again, I will say this. You're right. They've got some weapons. I think Legette's a really good player. Everybody, we and a lot of teams coveted and liked about Ted McMillan coming out of Arizona, and the run after catch, the size. I think it's very cool how he and Bryce have kind of developed the timing and rhythm that they have so quickly. And going out and getting a guy like Hunter Renfrow is really good because they're using the right way on third down, and they were able to trade Thielen because of that. And Bryce is very, very comfortable throwing to those guys. But make no mistakes about it. I really do feel like, this team, they want to run the football. They've got two good backs with Hubbard, and obviously we all know Rico very well, and he had an incredible game last week, and he is an absolute load to bring down and a guy you got a hamstring tackle. But they're going to challenge us, and that's what I'm saying. This is a really good football team we're going into play. And I got home and saw the last couple minutes of the game last night late, and it just shows you, man, any given Sunday, or last night, Thursday, I guess. But this league is all about parity, and parity is absolutely running wild in this league. And Carolina's a good football team with good players, and we're going to have to play well and continue to take care of the football to come out of there with a win.
This is kind of an esoteric RPP, rich people problem question. Does your attitude change when you know your team is improving, and you have over the last couple of weeks, and you look around your conference and go, this thing might be a little bit more winnable than we thought it was going to be when the season began? Does that change the way you prepare different players for, prep now versus the end of the season? Does it change the way you look at maybe, talking with your GM and everybody else looking for talent around there? Or is it the plan is in place and we're not going to vary it?
No, I think you're always looking to adapt. I mean, this league is about adapting, whether it's on game day, during the week, whether it's dealing with injuries, whatever it is. And I just think this. I think, we really do go through the process, man. And the process is 1 week at a time, another championship opportunity this week in Carolina. And what's that mean? It means, when you go through the process and you look at it that way, when we get to the ultimate game, which is, the Super Bowl, or big games in the playoff, it's like, hey guys, this is just another championship opportunity. I learned a long time ago from Pete Carroll, you go into a game and you want to try too hard because, let's say you're Jadeveon Clowney, or you're Jonathan Mingo or whoever, you want to go play against Carolina. This is the team, and I want to go play so hard. I think you tend to, as coaches and players, make mistakes, and so we're not going to change who we are. We're driven by our competitive spirit and love for one another. But I will say that, as we improve, our confidence is getting higher.
Coach, the last one before we let you go, I'm going to throw you a little curveball here. One I'm guessing you didn't prepare for, but I'm going to ask you anyway because I'm fascinated by what your answer will be. We see Bill Belichick right now is in the news, and he's struggling a little bit at North Carolina. A lot of people don't know, you spent some time in college before you got to the NFL. I think you were at USC, I think one other place. I know you spent some time at Georgia somewhat recently. How different is it relating to 18-year-olds versus 25-year-olds? And do you think there are coaches who are built to coach one and it's just a completely different idea of them relating to the other? Do you believe that there's a big difference between those two things?
Well, I think that the difference is, and listen, guys, it's totally changed from when I was there. And I'm a people person. You guys know that. You can tell that. I love talking to people, meeting people, and things like that. What's so different about college coaching, and I, again, can't imagine it now, is just you feel like you're always on call. You feel like you're a doctor because you're in a meeting, and let's say you're getting ready to play. When I was at Georgia, you're getting ready to play Alabama, and there's a knock on the door, and it's the guidance counselor saying, hey, coach, we got to go have our academic meeting. I'm like, no, I got to beat Alabama. They got some absolute studs over there. I want to do third down pressures. And they're like, no, we got to do academics. I'm like, okay, so you go do academics. And then you come off the practice field on a Thursday after doing your red zone, and they're like, okay, coach, we got to go make 3 hours of recruiting calls, or, hey, so-and-so's dad's here and wants to talk to you about their son's playtime. And it's just very, very different. And I do think that there's some coaches where their personalities or what they're looking for fits the pro game or the NFL game better. But listen, Bill Belichick's a hell of a football coach. He's getting into something that's new. I know when I went there, hey guys, think about this. For an offensive coach, when you go down there, the hashes and the games are totally different.
Right.
Like I can tell you that, okay, in the NFL, an in-cut's going to be caught 18 yards deep, 2 to 3 yards inside the numbers to the field and into the boundary. It's going to be like, I'm like, I have no idea where the ball's going to be caught because it's just totally different dimensions. And so there is a learning curve for sure. I am more of a NFL coach because I just love the chess match of the game planning stuff, and I still get the connection piece I love so much with our players. But I'm more of an NFL guy, and college really wasn't for me.
So you don't think Belichick would do well with the backup tight end's dad asking for more playing time?
Yeah, well, I don't think so, but I think the problem is now that with the transfer portal and stuff, he probably has to deal with it because otherwise that guy's going to Clemson or someplace else.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll get better for him at Clemson, unfortunately. Coach, we appreciate the time. We appreciate you having a little fun with us, and hopefully you guys can keep some momentum here with this. Get a second win in a row for the first time in your tenure, and maybe start to build something up here. As always, thank you for taking the time out this morning. We'll talk to you next week.
Good luck, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.